My story. So what's my story, you ask? Our farming journey began with a strong focus on chemical farming. We were determined to be the best farmers in the district, conducting numerous trials with chemicals and chemical fertilisers. However, we faced several challenges. Firstly, the farm's resilience began to decline. Our landscape wasn't holding up against extreme weather events like it used to. Secondly, the chemical mixtures we used became increasingly toxic, and the application rates kept rising. We found ourselves needing more and more fertilisers and chemicals just to maintain the same level of production. This all came to a head when I experienced chemical poisoning. Interestingly, the remedy for my chemical poisoning turned out to be food. By cleaning up my diet and changing what I ate, my health improved significantly. This revelation connected the dots for me. The way we grow our food directly impacts the health of the people who consume it. High-quality food leads to good health and vitality, while toxic food results in poor health. This realisation set me on the path to regenerative farming. I wanted to transform our farming systems to eliminate the need for harmful chemicals and promote a healthier, more productive farm. By adopting regenerative practice, we aim to grow great food that fosters great health. To my surprise, the best food comes from ecosystems that are naturally balanced. When an ecosystem is in harmony, the need for chemicals disappears. It's not a matter of choosing to avoid chemicals. We simply don't need them anymore. Our real choice lies in whether we are willing to change our management practices to work with natural cycles and improve soil health. Most people don't immediately see the connection between biodiversity and drought management. When biodiversity is mentioned, people typically think of trees, animals, birds and bats, but they often overlook the diversity within the soil. This soil diversity is crucial because it sequesters carbon, enhancing water holding capacity. Therefore, biodiversity is directly linked to drought. The diverse soil structure plays a key role in addressing both flooding and drought issues by improving the soil's ability to absorb and retain water. Imagine an Aussie swimming pool. During a single rainfall event over 1 hectare, soil with 1% carbon can hold 1/4 of an Aussie swimming pool's worth of water. With 5% carbon, the same event will allow the soil to hold 1.5 swimming pools worth of water. At 8% carbon, the soil can hold the equivalent of more than 3 swimming pools of water. This is why we called ourselves Carbonate. When your soil reaches 8% carbon, your farm becomes sustainable and resilient to droughts and flooding because of a dramatically increased water holding capacity. The average Aussie farm has only 1 to 2% carbon, which is the reason we see so many images of desertification during drought times. And that biodiversity in the soil is ultimately supported by the biodiversity above the soil. Multi-species pastures and cover crops help build carbon levels by first supporting the biodiversity below the soil, which in turn builds the soil carbon. When the soil has 1% carbon, or 1% organic matter, it is hard like cement and water bounces off it. At 8% carbon, your soil acts like a sponge. The soil sponge is really an end result of a great soil structure, and that great soil structure includes the humus and the soil organic carbon, also the colloids and the spaces in the soil that hold water, and it starts to look like a sponge, and it holds water like a sponge. So this sponge effect is really the end result of a great soil structure, high soil carbon levels that all come from this magnificent biodiversity in the soil, which is supported by the biodiversity above the soil.